Shep barked as they got closer to Grandma's place. Bobby figured it was Shep's way of saying hello. Just around another bend in the road, about 100 yards of straight dirt road led to Grandma B's house. It was a two-story wooden house with the original windows still in it. There were lots of windows to ensure there was plenty of light in the house. The walkway leading to the house was covered with slate from a quarry near Comstock, New York. Bobby always counted the number of slates that led up to the front door. There were 24 to be exact. An old well house painted white stood at the right hand of the house with a modern pump inside which supplied water to the house, but in front of that was a hand pump connected to the same well where you could draw the coldest water you ever tasted on a hot summer day. Bobby got himself a couple of pumps of cold water and pumped out 8 more times so Shep could lap from the puddle. He turned to admire the house. It was built in the 1800s, and you could see actual pine trees in the basement that made up the cross beams of support for the first floor. Bobby's dad said if anyone ever lit a match to the house, it would go up quicker than the wink of an eye because the wood was so dry. Bobby was smoking in the basement one time, and he caught an old newspaper on fire by mistake. That was about the most excitement he ever had on Farley Hill. He luckily put the fire out before it got to the pine logs. Covering the evidence was easy because the floor was nothing more than old dirt. He dug up enough to bury the paper and patted his tracks away. The house had character because of its fading and peeling white paint. The weathered shutters showed signs of dry rot. Inside, the two-story house smelled of history, a special smell that only a Grandma's house could have. When Grandma was alive, the old musty smell of books, clothes, and furniture was replaced with hot soup boiling on the stove or the smell of pumpkin pie being cooked in the oven. Grandma, always in her apron, would give a huge smile and hug to Bobby as he entered. He was always welcome in his second home. Bobby dug under a slate rock on the path leading to the front door. He found the hidden key, and he wiped the dirt from it. He bounded up the 3 steps and unlocked the big wooden door. The door groaned as he pushed it open, and the inside of the house was now barren. The foyer led to a huge front room with 4 windows facing the front yard. The sunlight revealed the dust inside. A spider web covered the fireplace, and Bobby swore he saw a shadow race to another room. He listened, but then decided his mind was playing tricks on him. To his right, he entered the music room where Grandma had played the one-finger organ. Grandma could use one finger to play whole chords while her right hand plunked out a melody. It was here he learned Amazing Grace and other hymns from the past while Grandma sang out of tune. All he could play to this day was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. While Grandma smiled and encouraged him every time he played it, the organ was almost always out of order when he came to visit in Grandma's final years because she secretly really didn't like his playing that much. She would turn her hearing aid down and smile quite a bit. Bobby left the music room and headed towards the back left of the house where the kitchen was. The kitchen was truly rustic. It still had the hand water pump next to the sink, and Bobby could remember pumping it when he was a little child. The modern conveniences of an electric pump and indoor plumbing led to the installation of a normal faucet in the middle of the sink with a hot water heater in the basement, close to where Bobby nearly burned the house down. The kitchen led to Bobby's favorite part of the house, which was the back porch. It overlooked the back half of Grandma's property. It was a quiet place. Perhaps this is why they put the original outhouse out here. Keep the noises and smells at bay. The old toilet was now a storage room for old tools which hadn't been used in a decade. Bugs and other creatures ran when Bobby pushed a board aside to peek inside. There really wasn't much to look at, so Bobby sat on the back steps and started thinking. Shep rested his head on Bobby's leg.